Ever feel like you're always racing against the clock? Like there's this constant temptation to push things off to some magical later. I know I've been there.
Yeah, for sure. That feeling that you can just delay things. It almost seems easier at the time, you know?
Right. But today, we're diving deep into that whole later thing. We're going to figure out what it really costs us to keep hitting that snooze button on life.
Interesting.
Our guide for this deep dive is the audiobook, The Power of NW. Don't leave anything for later. We're going to break down why always picking later might be holding you back more than you realize.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
It's all about finding those practical tips and surprising insights that can help us break free from procrastination and start living more fully right now.
Sounds like a plan.
So let's talk about later. It seems harmless enough, right? Just a little delay. But our source material really digs into the hidden price we pay for that word. What's the real cost, according to the audiobook?
Well, it's not just about those big decisions we put off. It's the everyday stuff, the little delays that we don't even think about. They add up, and the audiobook calls that the cumulative cost of later.
Give me an example. Like, how does that play out in real life?
Imagine this. You have a life's bank. Every time you say later, it's like making a small withdrawal.
Okay, I get it. So putting off calling a friend or...
Exactly.
Mhm.
Skipping that yoga class or delaying that project you want to start. Each time, a small withdrawal.
But individually, they don't seem like a big deal.
Right, but think about it. Over time, those little withdrawals, they empty your account, you know, missed opportunities, unachieved goals, lost memories.
It's kind of like death by a thousand cuts.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it's not just about the big things like careers or travel. The audiobook really stresses that this applies to everything, spending time with loved ones, simple pleasures, just relaxing.
Things we take for granted, assuming they'll always be there.
Right. The book warns that these moments might never actually happen. Things change, people change, and that window of opportunity might just close.
Makes you think. Because we're missing out on stuff, but there's got to be an emotional cost too, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's like a cycle: guilt, stress, missed chances,
Yeah.
and then you end up feeling drained and discouraged.
Yeah, you start feeling down on yourself for not tackling things sooner. Have you ever felt that? Like this nagging feeling that you should be doing something else?
All the time. It's like your brain is cluttered with unfinished tasks. That's the emotional toll of procrastination.
And fueling those feelings are those sneaky excuses, right? They're like the enablers of procrastination.
Totally. The audiobook describes them as protectors against fear, like shields to avoid failure or uncertainty. They can feel safe in the moment.
But that's temporary, right? What's the long-term effect?
The book calls them invisible chains holding you back. It's every excuse we've all used. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have time.
We've all been there. So we say these things, but what makes them so effective at stopping us?
They're sneaky. They hide as perfectly logical reasons. I'll start when I have more money. I'm waiting for the right moment. They sound so reasonable.
Right. It's so easy to convince yourself.
But the audiobook says those reasons are what keep us stuck. It's rarely about the money or the time. It's usually fear. We're afraid to fail or be uncertain.
We're getting in our own way. So
Yeah.
how do we escape these mental chains?
The book says it's all about taking responsibility. We need to stop blaming outside stuff. Instead, own our choices.
That's tough, but I see how that gives you more power.
Exactly. We unlock this strength and resilience by holding ourselves accountable for our actions, whether good or bad. It's like we go from passengers to drivers, you know.
Yeah, we take the wheel. And that mental energy we waste making excuses.
Imagine that energy focused on action. That's the message. Stop justifying inaction and start moving.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
So the first step to success is not waiting for the perfect moment. It's just starting.
Exactly. Right now is the perfect moment.
Okay, so we've got to ditch the excuses and jump into action, but how do we actually do that? What's the magic formula?
The audiobook calls it embracing the power of immediate action. But don't get me wrong, it's not about rushing blindly. It's about using the present moment to get things moving.
So it's like aligning your goals with real steps and taking that first step without hesitation.
Exactly. And the book says that when we act immediately, we tap into this momentum. It's like pushing a heavy object hard at first, but then it keeps rolling.
I can see that. Once you get started, it's easier to keep going.
Right. And acting quickly also silences those doubts.
Yeah.
The more we delay, the louder they get.
It's like they have less time to take hold when you just act.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. We learn by doing, we get resilient by facing setbacks, and we build experience.
So imperfection is part of the process.
It is. Every time we choose action over hesitation, It's like we're building self-belief. We're keeping a promise to ourselves. And as we see results, that belief gets stronger.
It's like a positive feedback loop. Action results, confidence, more action.
Exactly. We learn that success doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It comes from consistent, courageous steps. The book even says it makes you feel unstoppable.
That's a great feeling. But doesn't mean we should be impulsive, right?
Of course not. It's not about being reckless. It's about moving with intention and purpose, even when things aren't perfect. It's about taking control, trusting yourself, and the process.
So action with intention, got it. But what about the baggage we carry from the past? How do we deal with that?
The audiobook has a whole section on letting go of the past to build a future. It acknowledges that our past holds valuable lessons and memories, good and bad.
It's easy to get stuck there, either clinging to good times or beating ourselves up over mistakes.
Absolutely. But the book stresses that carrying that weight will hold you back.
Yeah.
Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It's about releasing its hold on us.
It's like breaking free from the chains of the past.
Yes. The book calls it profound self-liberation. We're often clinging to old habits, outdated beliefs, or regrets. We replay things in our minds, wishing for different outcomes.
It's like we're trapped in a mental loop.
Right. But holding on prevents growth. The audiobook says our energy gets blocked.
So how do we actually let go? It's easier said than done.
The book suggests a few things. One is shifting our focus. Instead of dwelling on emotions, we should extract the lessons. Every experience, good or bad, teaches us something.
Like reframing the past as a teacher instead of a tormentor.
Exactly. A mistake can teach resilience. A failure shows us where to improve. We can approach the future with wisdom, not just baggage.
I like that. So we're learning from the past instead of being controlled by it. What else does the book suggest?
Forgiveness. It's crucial to forgive others and ourselves. Holding on to resentment and guilt weighs us down.
Forgiveness is a form of self-care, almost.
Exactly. It's not about condoning bad actions. It's about letting go of their power over us. We're declaring that we won't be defined by the past.
It's freeing ourselves from the burden of those past experiences.
Right. We're not defined by our past, but by the choices we make today. Letting go lets us evolve and pursue our dreams with fresh possibility.
So we're acting in the present, letting go of the past, but there's more to it, right? It's not just about doing, it's about doing things that matter.
Exactly. Chapter 5 is all about living with purpose today, aligning our actions with our values.
So it's about intentionality, not just getting things done, but getting the right things done.
Absolutely. When we have a purpose, even small tasks have meaning because they contribute to something bigger. It gives us direction. It makes our efforts feel important.
It's like you have a compass guiding your choices. But how do we figure out what our purpose is?
The book says it starts with understanding what truly matters to us. We need to reflect on our values, those guiding principles, and explore our passions.
What really lights our fire, so to speak?
Right. By figuring out what drives us, we build a foundation for a truly purposeful life.
That clarity then helps us make better choices about where we spend our time and energy.
It does. Purpose also involves setting goals, but not just any goals. They need to be aligned with those values and passions. These goals are more motivating because they have deeper meaning.
So our purpose is the why behind what we do.
Exactly. And then it's about being mindful, staying present. It's so easy to get lost in routine or distractions that don't really matter. Mindfulness helps us focus on what truly counts.
So it's about being intentional in each moment, not just drifting through the day.
Exactly. And living with purpose doesn't always require huge, dramatic actions. It can be about nurturing relationships, taking care of ourselves, or contributing to our community.
It's the small things adding up to something bigger.
Right. And when challenges come up, our purpose keeps us grounded, reminds us why we're doing this. It helps us stay resilient and push through.
Our purpose gives us that inner strength to keep going.
It does. And remember, purpose is not static. It's okay for it to evolve as we grow and change. The point is to align our actions with what matters most, and that can change over time.
So it's a journey of self-discovery, always growing and evolving.
Exactly. And the book says that living with purpose brings a deep and unique sense of fulfillment. It connects our daily actions to something greater than ourselves, bringing genuine joy and satisfaction.
So we've got purpose, present moment awareness, and we're letting go of the past. Now, how do we make these changes stick?
Chapter 6 dives into building consistency and momentum. Consistency, the book says, is the bridge between goals and achievement.
It's about taking those consistent steps to get to where we want to go.
Exactly. And it's not about huge bursts of effort. It's about steady, regular action, even if those actions are small.
The small hinges that swing the big doors.
Yes. Commit to doing something related to your goals every day, even if it seems tiny. That builds momentum, making those goals feel more manageable.
Like compound interest, but for personal growth.
Right. The book uses the example of reading a few pages daily. It might not seem like much, but over time, it leads to significant growth.
Small steps, big results.
Exactly. And routine is a powerful tool here. By building routines, we don't have to keep deciding when to work on our goals. They become automatic, just part of our day.
So it's about reducing the mental friction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The audiobook also talks about accountability. Sharing our goals with someone, a friend, mentor, or group, can create a sense of responsibility and provide support.
Like having a cheerleader on the sidelines.
Yes. And setting realistic goals, breaking them down into smaller steps, also keeps us motivated.
Right. It's about manageable bites, not trying to swallow the whole thing at once.
Exactly. And celebrating those wins along the way is key. As we see progress, momentum builds, and staying consistent feels easier.
It's like rewarding yourself for staying on track.
Exactly. But what about setbacks? We all have them,
We can't ignore that reality.
right? And the book acknowledges that. It reminds us that setbacks are normal, not failures. It's about getting back on track, not giving up.
So it's about resilience.
Exactly. Avoiding the all or nothing thinking and remembering our why, that core reason driving our actions.
The fuel that keeps us going when we feel like quitting.
Yes. Tracking progress using a journal, an app, or whatever works also helps. It's a visual reminder of our efforts.
I'm a big believer in tracking. It keeps you honest.
Me too. And finally, we need to celebrate consistency itself. Acknowledge the effort we're putting in, even with small rewards or moments of reflection.
It's like making consistency a habit you actually enjoy.
Exactly. So we're acting, we're consistent, but what about our mindset? How do we really tap into that now energy?
That's a great question. How do we cultivate that focus?
The audiobook talks about mastering the art of saying yes to now, which is all about fully engaging with the present moment.
It's about making a choice, a commitment to be present.
Exactly. The book emphasizes that time is precious, and once it's gone, it's gone. Saying yes to now means using time wisely, not waiting for a better moment.
It's like seizing the day, right here, right now.
Right. And we need to let go of regrets and worries. Clinging to the past or fretting about the future, it distracts us from the present.
They steal our attention from what we can actually do something about.
Yes. Focusing on the present shifts our attention to what we can control our actions today. It reduces anxiety and lets us take charge.
So we're trading worry for action.
Right. The book also talks about being fully engaged. Reduce multitasking, minimize distractions, and really focus on what's in front of you.
It's about being all in with full presence.
Exactly. That leads to better results and a deeper sense of accomplishment.
So quality over quantity, I guess.
Yes. And the book talks about mindfulness as a key tool here. It's about paying attention to the present without judgment, simply observing what is.
It's about cultivating that awareness.
Right. And it's okay to be spontaneous, to embrace new experiences, make decisions in the moment without overthinking.
Avoiding analysis paralysis.
Exactly. Don't get stuck trying to make everything perfect. Focus on progress, not perfection.
So imperfection is part of being present, too.
It is. It's about aligning your actions with what matters most right now. The book also talks about gratitude as a key element in this now mindset.
Gratitude. That's a powerful thing.
It is. By focusing on what we're grateful for, we appreciate the good things in our present situation, no matter what's happening.
So even in tough times, we can still find things to be thankful for.
Exactly. And it's important to be present in our relationships. Listen deeply, engage genuinely, appreciate the connections we have.
So be present not just for ourselves, but for others, too.
Right. And finally, let go of the need to control everything. Life unfolds naturally, and sometimes the best moments are unexpected.
It's about going with the flow.
Yes. Embrace the possibilities, the surprises. Every day brings chances to learn, grow, and make a difference.
So saying yes to now is really about saying yes to life in all its fullness.
Exactly.
So we've talked a lot about being present, but there's a chapter called The Power of a Future-Free Mindset. That sounds almost contradictory.
It might seem that way, but the book clarifies that it doesn't mean abandoning goals or planning. It's about releasing the constant worry and anticipation about the future.
It's about changing our relationship with the future, not ignoring it completely.
Exactly. The book says a future-free mindset reduces anxiety. We're not getting caught up in those what-if scenarios that can be so draining.
So it's about planning for the future practically, but not letting it emotionally control us.
Yes, it's also about being more aware of the present. When we're not constantly thinking about what might happen next, we can fully experience what's happening now.
It's like we have more mental space to really appreciate what's right in front of us.
Right. And this presence leads to better decisions. We're making choices based on reality, not anxieties.
We're responding to what is, not what we fear might be.
Exactly. The book also talks about the freedom a future-free mindset brings. We let go of expectations and embrace the journey.
It's about trusting the process, even when it's unpredictable.
Yes, it makes us adaptable and resilient, allowing us to thrive in the face of change. And it strengthens relationships because we're more present and engaged with others.
So it benefits us and the people around us.
It does. It also fosters creativity
Mm.
because we're not bound by rigid expectations. We're open to new possibilities and ideas.
So we're more open and spontaneous.
Exactly. It even promotes self-compassion because we recognize that growth takes time and we don't have to be perfect right now.
So it's about being kind to ourselves in the present moment.
Right. The key is to approach our goals without attaching our whole sense of worth to the outcome. Enjoy the journey, appreciate the little things, and find peace in the present.
It's about enjoying the ride, not just focusing on the destination.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming the present as the source of power and peace.
So being present is essential. And the book also dedicates a whole chapter to cultivating gratitude for today. Why is gratitude so important?
The book describes gratitude as a practice that brings peace, joy, and contentment. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from longing to appreciation.
It's like flipping a switch in our minds.
Right. Gratitude helps us see all the good stuff in our lives, even on tough days. It changes how we see problems. Instead of just seeing the negative, we can find strength and lessons in difficulties.
It's like those challenges become opportunities for growth instead of just roadblocks.
Yeah, exactly. Gratitude also improves relationships. We become more appreciative of others and express that appreciation, leading to stronger connections.
And it's not just touchy-feely stuff, right? There's actual science behind it.
Oh yeah, tons of research. Gratitude can improve mood, sleep, and even reduce stress levels. It shifts us away from that feeling of scarcity and helps us recognize the abundance that's already there.
So it's like a mental and emotional booster shot.
It really is. And it helps us find joy in simple things. We start appreciating those everyday moments instead of always chasing bigger and better things.
It's about finding happiness in the present, not just in some imagined future.
Exactly. Gratitude also builds resilience. When things get tough, it helps us remember the good things and find strength to keep going.
So it's a source of support when we need it most.
It is. It strengthens our connection to the present moment. Those ordinary moments become more meaningful.
It's about transforming the mundane into something special.
Exactly. The book suggests simple ways to practice gratitude, like writing down things you're grateful for. It can become a daily ritual.
A gratitude journal. I've heard of that.
It's a powerful practice. And expressing gratitude to others, not just writing it down, can impact both the giver and receiver.
It's like a positive energy exchange.
Yes. Gratitude helps us focus on our own blessings, not compare ourselves to others.
It's about appreciating what we have, not what we lack.
Exactly. And it leads to deeper self-acceptance. We start appreciating our strengths and imperfections alike.
So it's about being kind to ourselves as we are right now.
Right. The book really emphasizes that gratitude enhances our overall life satisfaction. We find contentment not by chasing more, but by appreciating what we already have.
It's a powerful shift in perspective.
It is.
And that brings us to the final big idea from the audiobook, the concept of redefining success as living in the present. It's a pretty radical shift, right?
It is. The book challenges that traditional idea of success as milestones, goals, achievements, that future-focused stuff. Instead, it says true success is about living fully in the present moment.
So it's about enjoying the journey, not just chasing the destination.
Yes, it's about letting go of the "I'll be happy" when thinking and appreciating each day as it comes. Life becomes a series of experiences to savor, and fulfillment comes from growth, gratitude, and peace in the present.
So it's a more holistic view of success, not just external achievements.
Exactly. And it makes life so much richer. We experience things more deeply, with less stress and anxiety about the future. Our relationships deepen because we're more present with others.
So it's like hitting the pause button on that constant striving and just allowing ourselves to be present.
Right. We can let go of self-judgment and embrace who we are right now. We can pursue passions with joy, not just obligation. Our actions become more aligned with our values.
It's about being true to ourselves in the present moment.
Exactly. And it builds resilience. Challenges become part of the journey, not derailments. We find clarity and creativity because our minds aren't clouded with worry and regret.
So we're more flexible, more adaptable, and more open to new ideas.
Yes, and our relationship with time changes. It's not an enemy anymore, but a flow to move within. We appreciate the fleeting moments and let go of attachment to outcomes.
It's about surrendering to the present moment, fully and completely.
Yes, we find gratitude for what we have, not what we're chasing. We start living more authentically, aligned with our true selves.
It's about finding that inner peace and contentment right here, right now.
Exactly. It's about balance.
Right.
We prioritize well-being, understanding that rest and self-care are essential for a successful life.
So taking care of ourselves is not selfish, it's necessary.
It is. We deepen our connection to the world around us, fostering a sense of unity and belonging. We learn to appreciate life's impermanence, letting go of attachments to specific outcomes.
It's about accepting that change is a natural part of life.
Yes, and it's about self-compassion, celebrating progress, no matter how small, and recognizing that growth is a journey, not a destination.
It's about being kind to ourselves.
Exactly. The book really drives home the point that true success is a way of being, not just achieving. It's living fully, loving deeply, finding joy in the journey.
And realizing that we're already successful in this very moment by choosing to embrace it fully.
Beautifully said.
So what's the big takeaway from our deep dive into the power of NW? What really stood out to you?
For me, it's the sheer power of the present moment. Every moment we spend waiting is a moment lost.
And those lost moments, they add up.
They really do. The key takeaway is this: we have a choice. We can act now, live fully today, or keep putting things off.
And the book warns us about letting the past steal our future.
Yes, it's a call to action, a reminder that today is all we have to shape our dreams and create the life we want.
Powerful stuff. So for our listeners out there, here's a final thought. What's one small thing you've been putting off? What tiny step can you take right now? What might change if you chose now over later?